Now it is Virtus.pro going versus AMD here on Blood Covenant, and Cooler taking cam right off the start. Let's have a quick look. We are going to be getting the Visor and the Galena, two strong champions right now.
You know what's kind of great about Virtus.pro is, like, typically from what we saw, like, Cypher was the one to really kind of pop off and to be the big fragger for the team. But av3k's been doing a hell of a lot of work over this course of this tournament too. He's been matching Cypher in kills.
Oh, he's been doing absolutely tons of work, but the way he's described it is like, I kind of chase Cypher around the map and try and like make sure I can help flank or get the trades, but Cypher really kind of initiates all of the fights. And they're very weak right now. Although they've got the two first kills, they've both got less than 50 health between them, so they're looking to stack up as soon as they can. That piercing sight allowing him to do so much initiation damage, and Latrommi just runs into absolute hell then.
The value they're getting out of these first lives is pretty ridiculous. av3k did eventually go down, but Cypher still has been able to restack on health. The rockets he's been hitting have been already fantastic, as you did see. av3k's there to back him up. They do steal away heavy, so now Cypher taking Mega, taking heavy means Latrommi and Cooler are even weaker now at this point in the match. 4-1, early start now for Virtus.pro.
I'm getting a little bit surprised already by one or two of the rushes from Latrommi, going in very aggressive when Cooler's already moved away from the positions. He has continued and got himself at least a frag on the board, but maybe one or two unnecessary kills going in the way of Virtus.pro. Alright, Cooler making it a one frag game now. We're less than 30 seconds away from the first power-up, so this is going to be important.
It's a big kill though out of Cooler, because they actually lost track of Mega and Heavy, and with that kill they did get Mega. I don't know who actually got Heavy. I'm assuming it was Virtus.pro, but if he did get that frag, you would imagine that Virtus.pro potentially could have picked up both items yet again and then transition that into the power-up.
Well, Mega's not going to spawn until the power-up has basically. Cypher's going to go into this pretty weak. Is there any more players from AMD that can stop this from happening? Power-up spawned, Cypher's got it, the Mega's going to be up, and they are going to have the first run of this.
Oh, that's going to be a quick kill out of him. So technically +2, now +3 of Latrommi going down. And with av3k already at heavy, they actually might be able to spot out Cooler yet again. It's going to be av3k and Cooler going head-to-head, and Cypher's going to steal that one away from range. That's now 4. Looking for the 5th is to be Latrommi jumping up towards rockets. He actually should be able to get this one here, and that was a fantastic quad run.
Yeah, really, really nice from them there.
5 for row exchange.
They're 8 to the good on the map, and he's finishing on the Mega Health, which is what he took just after the quad had spawned, so it's a perfect rotation. And if he can head on over now to the heavy armor and pressure with av3k, this is going to look really good. They should have the resources to fight this, actually.
Just, do they have the aim to fight it? Finally, Cypher will hit a shot. You hear the call made on the rail for Cooler, which av3k did immediately focus him down on. But if those shots hit a little bit better, I would say they should have had a nice 2-throw yet again, and potentially heavy, because the weaponry out of Latrommi and Cooler just wasn't there, because they were just finished off by quad time and time again.
Yeah, I'm surprised Cypher didn't commit to the fight to go for the 2-for-1, but again, as I say, damage exchanged, still very, very positive for VP. A lot of nail gun damage straight away. Cooler under a tiny bit of pressure, but I wonder if they're going to be able to slow the game at all the way we expect them. Trouble is that this map is a lot harder to do it given how open it is, and that's going to be a 2-for-0 going the way of Virtus.pro. Phenomenal start for them. Do remember, guys, this is the map pick of Virtus.pro, so I'd certainly expect them to come out all guns blazing.
Oh, av3k, just a couple of rails here. Finally going to hit one as he does retreat away. He's got another man off to his side. It's going to be Cooler coming in from rockets. I want to take away Heavy, but Heavy wasn't up for a little bit of time. Cypher's going to be there, though. He gets one. Latrommi, can he find on the high ground? No, because av3k gets the perfect respawn on shotgun. And I believe av3k does steal away armor, and now they can easily transition over towards Mega with protection up in 5 seconds' time. If they can just get these kills, they're going to be looking at a giant lead.
Nice damage on the exit of the teleport, so Latrommi does actually pick up the frag onto Cypher. Cooler is there. He's pretty weak, but that protection is going to stabilize him a lot. And now with the Mega Health, they can actually start coming back in the game a little bit.
Thing is, he's going to spend, what, the first 5, 10 seconds picking up health, picking up armor, and chasing them, but they've actually run straight into a trap here. There's a dead end. av3k will ideally fall in the situation. I would imagine Cypher would have gone down as well, and they will pick up a nice 2-for-0 there. So netting, I believe, 2 kills so far since they did lose Latrommi in the initial fight. Actually, sorry, netting 3 since they lost Latrommi. So +3 off the protection, plus I believe it was 5 for Virtus.pro off the quad.
The Mega Health did just go the way of av3k then. He's doing a lot of damage at the moment, looking for some plus back rocket damage. And now you can see the control of, well, the whole map is now heading over towards the heavy armor, and it's Latrommi and Cooler that actually get the greater damage.
only down by 5. I mean, it was a pretty big lead after the quad, to be fair, but Latrommi and Cooler seeming to kind of get the zone. Latrommi, unfortunately, not hitting those rockets. Some good dodge out of Cypher, to be fair. Can't really discredit Latrommi there at all. Oh, you're hearing, I think that was Totems from him doing some serious work.
He's missing those rails. He's missed a couple of shots. Latrommi's someone I'm looking at in this series to really pick up the pace and start getting that damage output that we're expecting from him. I know that Cooler is going to be relying on it at some point, because there's only so much he's going to be able to do. That LG from Latrommi, that's what I'm talking about. They get the 2 for nothing on this side. And compare it to the moment before, I guess it's a fair exchange.
The second av3k dropped, he knew he was pretty much dead. He got juggled into the air by Latrommi. Got coming out of him, and Cypher's able to just dance around him doing the tango. Cooler's backing off, 15 seconds on quad. av3k is not healthy though, but that's not bad. He died with a lot of time. Cypher needs to kind of respect that though. He's going to be in a 1-on-2, maybe back away, give up some ground. av3k's going to be getting the respawn in. I think he has LG. He's trying to go for rockets at the same time. So it's going to be 2 1v1s, and Cypher's going to win his. av3k's going to lose out on his. 50's health left for Cypher, but 50 health is all he needs. He gets the kill, and he's going to transition straight into Mega. So they're going to have a +1 exchange so far with the quad. They had +5 last time.
A little bit of damage from them. Lightning gun being found. av3k does eventually take down Cooler. Cypher's still not incredibly weak, so it's hard for him to push around the corners, but with piercing sight, he's got such an early advantage in the fights, he's going to be able to at least secure that 1 frag.
So I'd imagine no rail for him, actually. Kind of straying away from it, obviously, because of maybe some respawns here. So they net +3, so they basically tie their quad with the protection out of AMD. They do get back up to a 7 frag lead, though. They're just keeping a general healthy lead for the most part.
Latrommi going down. Quite a lot of damage was done on Cypher, but he still manages to survive and have av3k picking up the slack. Surely going to be under a bit more pressure at the moment. We're approaching the halfway mark, and the frag difference has gone to 10 now. But they still cannot feel too comfortable about this. Many opportunities for things to happen. Oh, av3k getting the 1v1 over there. I want to see how much health he's on after that. Just under 50.
Yeah. We'll do a protection in about 40 seconds time. Heavy going to be coming in. You already see Cypher in place. av3k from the backside trying to provide some sort of support against Cooler. He's doing some decent work. So it's Latrommi, and Latrommi will fall. And Virtus Pro, I don't know. This is just a steady snowball. It's gonna, I think, luckily for AMD, it's not going to be a quad next, which has the potential to snowball even further against you. It's just going to be protection where they could disengage and run around. But they're going to need to do something big here. And speaking of Virtus Pro and seeing what they can do, luckily for us, we can listen into their comms here.
He has rocket coming TB. Has vision. Both. One from rocket maybe. Oh. Rocket. Stay on it. Nice. Okay. I'll take Mega, yeah. One spawn LG. Both LG, first floor. Coming to shotgun.
A lot of calling out the positions over there. You can hear this bigger sense of urgency in the calls from VP now that we are in the playoff stage.
I think it's clear communication though about like where they're coming from, and they knew who to focus down. You know, not kind of crying the comms when they didn't need to. Protection out of av3k's. I mean, it's allowing to be that confident pushing in. And this kill lead, it's just lengthening here, Zoot. It's almost up to 20.
Oh my god. Levitation there from the LG. I mean, he was almost never going to be able to get that kill, but his aim is starting to get on point. Latrommi's hitting okay right now, but I've seen him go into way too many 1 versus 2s when Cooler's like on the other side of the map, and it's like, well, why are you engaging? You've got your back turned to the enemy, you're not isolating your targets or anything like that. I just feel like they haven't really warmed into the series at all yet.
Yeah, because we're now up to 21 frags, and only 9 minutes in. Virtus Pro showing no signs of letting up here. Yeah, and in terms of these items of Mega and Heavy, I feel like 80% of the time they picked them up. I haven't been able to count them, unfortunately, but they're just honestly always there. You can see Heavy now there. Spawned in. There's a good difference in timing between the two, so they're allowed to pick up both items. Cypher hitting a nice double rail. HP is going to back away, but again, with Mega up in 10, he's probably going to stick generally towards this side of the map. Maybe trying to get av3k out of the position he's in so he can kind of play together yet again.
I really like for Cypher not overcommitting to the fights. He knows he's done amazing damage. He doesn't want to put himself out of position by chasing for the kill. He just knows the enemy's going to be weak, so they're going to be not going to be able to put themselves in a good position for a moment on the map. And when we've got the power-up coming up soon, it's like, well, sure, I'd love to keep him weak. He's either going to have to force suicide himself to get ready for the power-up, or spend a lot of time not being ready for it.
It's like av3k's being like the feeler for the team, trying to spot out where they are when Cypher sits back. Now Cypher's going to be by himself. He gets the first frag to kill Latrommi. Going to be coming in with the LG, and Latrommi needs to win this, but he cannot do it. The quad has spawned in. Cypher again, the third time in this match, able to pick up another power-up. He's got Mega, and he is going to be hunting frags. Only 5 kills to go. He's got Pearson set up in just a moment. AMD, I think they've looked past this map now. This almost seems insurmountable.
Yeah, this is a lot to come back from. Cypher knows where the other target is. Alex will be able to kill him anyway. Can he turn around and find a spawn? And saw him over by lightning gun. Oh, it doesn't quite get the rail. Alex will go down. His quad is now gone, and he's going to miss another shot, but doesn't really make too much of a difference.
Yeah, I don't think he cares too much now.
Like, I'll be okay
3
with
frags away. av3k, can we actually look at the kills?
Oh yeah,
because look at av3k, 20 and 27. Definitely doing a good job. I mean, he's not top fragging, but he's keeping up extremely well.
Cypher's net is just crazy.
Yeah.
He's got about plus 19 net, which is really, really nice from him. Strong map from Virtus.pro. I think it's definitely fair to say that AMD, they need to work together a bit more moving into the next map. It's been a huge disconnect. Oh, Cypher couldn't quite get that rocket out. It's going to look for one more, and that is going to hit the mark. It is going to be Virtus.pro taking the first map here in day 3. They do have to win 2 more, though, if they want to take the series, because we are in best of 5s today, not in best of 3s as on day 1 and 2. Anything? I know we kind of broke it down a lot already, but anything else you taking from that?
Not really. I mean, Cypher seems to be playing well, feeling himself. 30 frags from at the end, 30 and 9. And av3k 20 and 14. They seem to be playing really well. The communication seems to be clear and concise. I already talked to them a little bit earlier on when they got in here. They looked confident. They looked like they felt good, got a good night's rest, and were ready to play. I didn't even see them like do any warm-up practice, whereas for AMD, they were playing against Cyberfight. They were like playing on Awoken against them and trying to warm up. And that just kind of worries me. If they've had that extra time, not necessarily next extra time, but if they've, invested time into warming up, and they lose that badly against Virtus.pro, who just kind of just joined the games, just showed up, kind of thing. That kind of gives me not a lot of hope for AMD.
Well, I think when you have the map pool in general, you're going to have 1 or 2 that are going to be weaker than others, and if you know you're going to have your weaker map picked first, you can kind of let that one slide. What I think is going to be really telling is how map 2 goes. If it happens the same way, then yeah, I think that's going to be like, right, we need a miracle. Or
let me ask you this, dude, because this is actually something really interesting that I talked to some players about. In one of the previous games that I've done, there was a tournament coming up, and I was acting as kind of like a manager role for them, for the team, and they never scrimmed before a match. They never did like what AMD did against Cyberfight. They never actually played a team to warm up. They would just play by themselves. They would either do solo play, or they would just run around a map and just warm up their hands, warm up their movement, and stuff like that. The reasoning was because if you play scrims and you can kind of get in your own head. If you do something wrong, it's going to be on your mind. You can be worrying about it. You can try to prevent that from happening, but maybe you're focusing too much on that one mistake, something like that. Whereas if you play alone, or you don't even play necessarily at all, you just run around a map. You relax. You just kind of get a feel of the game. You're not in your own head. You're kind of thinking outside of the body.
I think it's almost a little each to their own. I could definitely see the pitfalls of that, but then you're also warming up your communications a little bit at the same time, and just refreshing that. I've seen Tox. He likes to just run around on a server with nobody else on it.
Yeah.
And I watch Zron, and he's just going on deathmatch, and he's warming up his aim actively.
Yeah.
When I'm watching Tox, he's just shooting walls and things like that and practicing angles. He's not really going for anything crazy. And you see a whole different selection of pre-match rituals from players. I think it's hard to tell really what's the most effective. You've got to kind of figure out.
I feel like it's obviously what's going to work for you and your team. I feel like there's potential more of a downside to scrimming someone and getting frustrated.
That's definitely possible. Yeah.
Especially when you play with personalities of like if you're playing with Cooler, because he can easily get frustrated, and then that can cause some tension with you.
I'd like to hope that they're beyond that right now.
Obviously, I would hope so, especially when you're playing a tournament like this. But things can always kind of set you off and kind of get you frustrated, and maybe some things in the way you communicate get set off track. But yeah, to each their own. I just thought it was interesting to see different views on how you do set up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, guys, we've got map number 2 that's going to be starting right now. We are on Awoken between AMD and Virtus.pro. Cypher, the first man on cam. And this is a map picked by AMD that they very much going to want to have control of.
So risky to go for rails here. Oh, and actually, since he's in a 1-on-2.
Oh,
Did some decent damage, but again, didn't really have the weaponry to fight correctly in that situation.
Bye-bye.
Knocked off the map, and Virtus Pro going to be -1. Oh!
Ooh, how the hell did he survive that? He went like behind the pillar.
Just caught the ledge with his
I have no
toes.
explanation.
Now, so Virtus Pro back on 0. They have gotten a frag. AMD up to 2. Do have the high ground control. They do have the early rail control, which is what we're going to see most likely out of pretty much every team today on Awoken. Lock down this area. You lock down Mega and Heavy, and you also lock down the power up at the same time. Latrommi uncharacteristically missing quite a few shots here. And
Oh god,
doing some damage to himself.
you don't want to be doing this. You want to be landing that damage, and you know they had the chance to have taken down Cypher during that point, and
Yeah.
av3k then was able to get the flank and tie up the scores. Because otherwise, it was a really nice start for AMD.
Well, that's what you said, right? When you're talking about rail versus machine gun, getting the more consistent, steady damage in sometimes is going to work out better for you. In that situation, if they
my
killed
God.
Cypher, av3k would most likely not been able to come in and wipe them both out at the same time. They would have at least been able to have a chance against him. Cool, they're doing some really nice footwork here, dodging around the pillar. Machine gun out, no rockets left. Doesn't even have rail, but he gets the kill
wow.
on av3k nonetheless.
Really, really nice. Bit of extra ammunition because even the machine gun was running low there. There's going to be Heavy up in a couple of seconds, and once that Heavy's taken...
Oh!
That rocket trying to get a bit more splash, almost taken down. He might even consider a rocket jump despite being 45, but I think Latrommi maybe picked up the double. Okay. This is really good. All of a sudden, everything has changed from last map.
Well, this lead that AMD does have could be offset by this quad. You can see them pushing Virtus Pro, trying to focus them down. Cooler.
Wow.
Latrommi do split them again, using those pillars to their advantage and dodging around as much damage as possible. Looks like we will have quad picked up now for Cooler.
Looks like that happened after the fight, so hopefully all good for the players. Cooler. Time for him to get something done. Looking to hit with the nail gun. He's not connecting with very much, but Latrommi does come in for the 2-for-1. He gets the power up afterwards. And let's see if he can get anything further done with it. 8 frag in the lead. Still chance for a couple more kills. There goes Cypher. av3k has been found too. The totem on the outside. Oh, and he gets another kill right at the end. What a run there. Latrommi's had some really magical moments in the tournament already with his quad runs, and it's super unexpected when it does happen.
He has a potential to play so well, but the consistency level he's brought with us into this tournament, or brought with him into this tournament, hasn't really been on par with what we were expecting. I mean, we already saw when they're trying to kill Cypher down in this pit by rail, but the missed shots that he had happen cost him a 2-for-0 exchange. But with that quad run, might have given him the confidence he needed to really get back into this. You can see Cooler as well popping off 20-8, 3 minutes in. It's a bloodbath.
Yeah, I think the way to say it with Latrommi is that the lows are pretty low for him, but the highs are absolutely astronomical. So if he can bring those highs even more in this map, then they can just continue sailing their way through to a map victory and tying up the series score.
Well, Cooler gets another kill on the av3k. So if not hit these rockets, and Cooler, really well-timed push, gets the kill, and this lead is just being maintained, and it's actually growing as time does go on. Latrommi supporting Cooler for the back, and again, Cooler picks up another frag. They're getting ready for protection up in about 18 seconds, but Mega's about to spawn in, though Latrommi is being zoned out, but he's done a hell of a lot of damage, and Cooler might be able to shut this one down. He tries to push in, he rocket jumps in, but that's going to be av3k, or sorry, yeah, Cypher in the nick of time securing that one.
This looks like a totally different team to what we saw before, but oh no, Latrommi's just fallen off. Now Cooler's on his own, there's machine gun, but protection's now been taken by av3k. Gonna come down, get the damage, and he's even secured the Heavy, so we could see a small comeback over here. Let's check out how AMD are going to be able to slow this down a bit. Cooler's just taken Cypher.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for AMD, like this map does fit running away from power-ups because it's so circular. And with the kill they got on a Cypher, they're actually almost netting themselves a positive trade and minimizing the damage that protection has done. And av3k, fortunately, not able to really make anything happen off of this. Cypher's able to pick up one. So I think they netted about, +1 off of the protection in the end. They need this control. They need to lock down this area. And that was a nice double rocket on Cooler, but he was so stacked. It took even some LG to finish him off. But now, only 11 frag difference, 5 minutes in.
As I was saying before the power-up, it looks like a totally different AMD. They're supporting each other so much better. I don't know if it's something about the smaller map, they find it easier to coordinate that way, but it's so impressive compared to Blood Covenant.
I think maybe it's fit to the map style. Like, Again, like, it's just a very circular map, so you can kind of flow around the map together. You keep going the same direction, pick up guns along the way. You don't really need to split off, whereas Blood Covenant, there's no like set path around the map that you can go. Obviously, there isn't a set path as well in Awoken, but it's more of a defined path that you can take. Especially when you're focusing and fighting around one area of the rail, you know where you're going to be going, you know where you're going to be fighting, and it makes it easier to stick with that teammate.
Well, Cypher and Alex seem to be getting a little bit more comfortable in the fights now. AMD's definitely going to be very conscious of what the scoreline is. We've had a hyper-aggressive start, which isn't always the style we get from AMD. But Cooler did mention that when he's comfortable bringing it back,
so lucky.
That pillar behind, saving him. But Cooler suiciding and Latrommi cleaning up then. Bringing it back.
It's not a bad timing though, because of 10 seconds, they have time to get back in here. They're going to come in for Mega. Latrommi, he's going to be back on full HP, but the totem is now gone. It's not going to be here for the fight. He's down to 30 health, and he will be finished up by Cypher the shotgun. Now Cooler by himself. Can he get the kills? He gets Cypher. He's looking for the second. He does with the power-up go, but who gets the spawn? Zoot, who's going to be there in time?
Let's have a
and
look.
It looks like it's going to be Latrommi.
Wow, yeah, he died quite early on in the fight, so he's already racing back to go for it. The other guys trying their best to spawn. They can't do anything. Can we see another phenomenal Latrommi quad run? Well, Cooler's going to get two. He's like, all right, I'll take the glory for the moment. Cypher runs into him.
We promise Latrommi does have the quad, even though Cooler's getting all the kills.
Well, now he's tied it up with Cooler a bit. Sees the rocket, says, I know where you are. I'm going to chase for maybe a couple more. A second left, can't quite get the damage in time, but he's still pushing forward with the lightning gun nevertheless. Oh my god, with the gauntlet as well. He does not give a damn about the totem. He's going nuts right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you said, right? That's Latrommi we were kind of hoping to see. High highs, low lows at the moment. And they're now up 15 frags, showing no signs of stopping. Which is kind of funny. Maybe this map kind of fits their style. Maybe they don't want to slow things down. Maybe they would have just fight, because they feel like their combat skills can match av3k and Cypher, and not to mention they feel like they can
I've heard a lot
zone out.
I've heard a lot of people talk about how Cooler and Latrommi can only play a slow style, because that's mostly what they practice, but I mean, clearly that's not the case.
Yeah, they're playing hyper-aggressive at this rate. I mean, 41 frags, 7.5 minutes in. We were saying yesterday in one of the matches that we had, I think we finished around 9 minutes. That was one of the quickest times we've seen on Awoken, but we're almost approaching a quicker time than that.
Yeah, oh my god, actually.
Oh, that was a great little bounce out of Cypher.
If they can lock down this protection, then yeah, absolutely, we could race before that sort of 9-minute mark. It is just over 10 seconds away. Cypher trying to survive, he's going to go down. Rocket is good for him. Latrommi holding this upper position, hoping that Cooler's going to spawn nearby him. Machine gun is good. Cooler, he's on the mega health. They're having a fight over here, but the protection spawns in a second. Where are the players? I think that's Latrommi over there. He should be able to secure it, and he's not going to be able to fall off the map. Takes the double, and he just continues to rack up these power-ups.
Yeah, even at this rate, if you're AMD, not going to care too much if you lose a fight. As long as you just do as much damage as possible, you know it's going to be very hard for Virtus Pro to re-heal up. He's trying to go on the chase. More importantly, I guess, for him, he's just going to actually take and lock down these items. They got the timing on Heavy, they got timing on Mega now. Making it even harder for Virtus Pro to heal back up again.
Rockets are good. Oh, Cooler's not able to finish that one off. Protection's gone. And although he didn't get tons and tons of kills, he kept control of continuing to pick up the items. I mean, it's still brilliant work from Latrommi, and he's going to be way happy with this compared to other performances we've seen this tournament.
Now 3 away, still 17 lead. Latrommi 24, Cooler 23. I mean, there's like, what, 1 or 2 frag difference between each player of both teams. I mean, I don't even think Virtus Pro necessarily played this bad. I feel like they just kind of got caught out a lot. They weren't... I don't even know why. I feel like that they just don't know that the focus point of this map is real, because we've seen them a lot of times when they have the opportunity to defend it, that they don't. They push off of it. Maybe that's just due to the time of the game and due to them being so far behind that they have to pick up frags. They feel like they have to be aggressive. But Cooler and Latrommi are more than happy just to sit back at rail for, I think, the entirety of the match.
Maybe they weren't expecting this level of coordination from AMD as well. I mean, they were a totally different team last time around, and now all of a sudden the support between them has been phenomenal. One more frag, he's getting a brilliant rocket. The follow-up is even better. AMD are going to take map 2 and tie up the series. We draw ourselves down to a best of 3 in the first match of the day.
This is where things get scary. We talked about how Cooler has been the star of the team, right? For the entire tournament, he's been out-fragging Latrommi.
Yep.
Now Latrommi tied him up, 25 apiece.
And he had only 15 deaths, Cooler had 21, so a plus 10 net for Latrommi. I mean, that's phenomenal. Obviously, the power-up runs is going to help out a lot with that because he managed to rack up tons and tons during that. He must have got something like 15 alone from power-ups.
He kind of deserved those kills because he, like, for instance, saved protection when he was by himself. Like, he was able to get these power-ups in situations he most likely shouldn't have been able to. But that's the power of AMD. You know, Cooler's been playing consistently well all tournament. Latrommi, if he steps up and can play at the peak that we know he can, that's why we think we can see potentially that 5-map series.
Well, Corrupted Keep is coming next. It is Virtus Pro's map pick, but with only 3 maps in the pool, the map picks, now who picks them matters a bit less. We just had a fast map now, which AMD looked great on, which I was expecting they would need a larger map where they can play a bit more slowly. That would favor them more. But would you go as far to say that AMD can take Corrupted Keep?
Thing is, I think all 4 players have shown their stain. We haven't seen that much rail, funny enough. Like, I don't think we saw that many shots on Awoken. We didn't see that many shots on Blood Covenant. It was all about the LG and Rockets. And obviously with no rail and Corrupted Keep, LG and Rockets are going to, again, be the point of contention. The thing is, I almost want to give it to AMD because I think they were the first team that I remember seeing in casting that held Statue Room.
Yes.
Every time. They wanted to lock down the LG and maintain it. It was Cooler than Trino that did it. Yeah. And if the LGs are hitting like we've seen them do for them, if the Rockets are hitting like for Cooler and Latrommi, I think they actually could take the map.
It would be really, really interesting if they did, and it would come as another surprise here at DreamHack Tour if they were able to put themselves on match point and send themselves to top 4. I think a lot of people would be hyped out there, especially for Cooler, seeing him continue to get some good results.
And we already talked about, you know, like the Cypher versus Cooler matchup, right? But for some reason, seeing Cooler versus Rafa in the semifinals as well.
They both have a good ring about them, you know. They both sound pretty good to me, so I wouldn't be upset with that. The thing is, on map 1, I felt like Virtus Pro was making AMD look pretty mediocre, but I think it was also to the level they were playing at. They seemed to always be supporting each other. But then that was totally disrupted on map 2 when AMD seemed to bring the same level. All of a sudden, it's like it shook Virtus Pro's confidence.
Well, didn't Virtus Pro lose to Sleep to Awake on Awoken as well? I think it's definitely one of their weaker maps.
The maps that they won was only Blood Run.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely, it's possible.
I
think that given their practice, Awoken probably is their weaker map. They're going to be far more comfortable on Corrupted Keep. So, I'd expect this to be the closest map so far between the 2 teams.
I'd agree. What was the 4th and 5th map? Just to remind me.
It's going to be Ruins as the 4th and Blood Run as the 5th.
Okay, so if we get to Blood Run, that's going to be interesting. So, I mean, I guess if you're AMD, are we in agreement that Blood Run would go Virtus Pro's way? Or do you think AMD?
Not 100% sure.
But
I would
most
say
likely?
so. Yeah, more likely than
So
not.
then if you're AMD, Corrupted Keep and Ruins, you got to win these 2 and stop it from going to Blood Run if you want to get through the series.
Yes, ideally. I think if we get over to Ruins, which we will now, I think we're going to see a much slower game. I remember seeing Quake Orbs going versus them, and it's very, very slow. It's the slowest that we've ever seen. It was something like 30 frags in 10 minutes, which I'd never really seen in 2v2 before. But right now we're getting an incredibly fast game, which maybe that's part of the game plan. They'll have had all night to discuss, right, how are we going to approach Virtus Pro, what's our strategy going to be, what do they expect from us, how can we play the sort of the psychological game as well.
Just saying fast paced and aggressive, and you have to know when to be aggressive, when to be not aggressive.
I love Cooler. I witness like nostalgia and history at the same time.
Coolerism,
good.
Live in person.
So I got a little bit excited at the same time. That's a little bit of weak.
Just a little bit, okay. We are loaded onto Corrupted Keep. Warm-up is about to finish. I'm imagining we're going to still have the same 2 champions from both players, from both teams, and I don't think we're actually going to see wait, is that no, that's a visor. To say, I'm pretty much imagining we're going to see the same 2 the entire way through this best of 5.
Yes, I would not be surprised whatsoever. We're on Cooler to start with. He's got the LG early, but av3k is going to spill first blood. Cypher got a good stack too. I believe they have the lightning gun available now. Cooler's just, okay. You can do that, Cooler.
Cooler's rockets have been really on point, at least on Awoken. I think that's going to be a big amount of emphasis. Latrommi's done really well with the LG. But as you said, like on Blood Covenant, Latrommi was going into these 1-on-2 situations by himself when Cooler was nowhere near him. So with Cooler being kind of the mastermind of the team and kind of telling Latrommi what to do, hopefully they can kind of resolve that issue and stick together a lot better.
Well, was av3k up until then the only person to be getting kills on the map for Virtus.pro, but it is going to be them picking up the favorable exchange 5-2 to start with. I'm very interested in this next minute of play as we move over to quad damage, because that's going to really set the pace of the game and see who's going to take the earliest lead, like properly.
Virtus.pro up by 2. Cooler again. This in his position. Machine gun is hitting quite heavily, and Cypher's gone.
What?
I would be so tilted if I was Cooler here, just for the fact he was able to run through the teleporter and kill you from behind when Latrommi was there to like to back you up.
He just had a stack going for him, so he somehow managed to pull that off. Latrommi's going to go down, but Cooler getting the refrag immediately. There is av3k who just took the lightning gun.
Oh, he sneaks in from behind. av3k gets the mega health. Gets the kill, and Heavy's up at the same time. I think his health isn't that stacked, but most importantly, he's preventing now Virtus.pro from having any sort of stack.
That was actually a really sick push from Cooler, because he knew that the Heavy was going to come up soon, and that the Virtus.pro guys were pushed up by mega health. If he could make his way past them and take the Heavy himself, then that's a resource that's going to help a lot moving on to the power-up. Unfortunately, they both go down, because av3k continues to tear them apart, and he's going to enable Cypher to pick up the quad damage and try to extend the lead a bit.
Can respect what they try to do. AMD try to prevent him from getting mega before he became unstoppable with the quad. Now they just have to give up positioning. They have to give up items. They can't contest this at all. Look at the stack that Cypher does have. They're constantly running away. And luckily for them, Cypher doesn't have vision. Nelgun's going to do a little bit of chip damage. But now they have a 2-on-1 against av3k. And av3k's going to indirectly suicide from rockets. So not too much damage being done from the quad.
Not a lot at all, actually, considering the overstack that he had throughout the power-up.
I think, importantly for Virtus.pro now, they need to take the ability of getting the mega and the heavy like that and keep that going. I mean, you didn't get a lot of kills with the quad, but you gained a lot of control. It's just about maintaining it now.
Suddenly the pace has gone down. Both the teams really wanted to contest over the lightning gun room before, and now AMD have kind of chilled out a little bit. Set up camp over here. Latrommi almost gets pushed off the map, but Cypher will still find the frag regardless.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is one of the few maps we've seen Cypher.
Cypher? You're going to say that?
Constantly suicide on for being knocked off. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a great word. But Cypher's low on health. He should be finished off here. 10 HP. A totem will be thrown behind him, but 60 health still isn't that viable. It's allowed him time to get the piercing side up to allow av3k to push through. He's still dodging a hell of a lot of damage.
Ooh.
But he's got to think about either dying or getting that stack up, because 30 seconds on protection. They need to be able to contest this one to maintain that control.
The Latrommi stack is nice for now. He hasn't got the lightning gun. He's going to run into one of them. Fortunately, they edge away, but took the LG. During that time, he drops, but it's only damage that he's receiving. Latrommi does take down Cypher. He really could have done more damage then, or maybe held onto the LG area. Only just trying to go over the corner and support him.
He was trying to stop them from taking Mega, but Cypher actually pushed it. He was trying to drop into Mega to contest av3k, but Cypher pushed him away with the LG, so he didn't have the opportunity to even do that. I think it's just a really good job by Cypher, and that's going to be, I think, av3k picking up the protection. He's being by himself, and he will be finished off. And now Latrommi's going to get it with a good stack. There's a big split between Mega and Heavy, so they can easily contest Heavy now and get this control.
Really good call from Cooler, mining Latrommi. It's Mega that's up next. Let's go for that. Rockets are good as well, doing so much damage. Cooler able to finish off that frag, and now they can start bringing this closer. Oh my god, Heavy is gone. Is he going to chase over the LG? He's going to cut him off down below, but Cypher's eventually like, right, I've got to forfeit my life. There's no way I'm escaping this.
He did buy a little bit of time, though. I don't think av3k would have dropped again anyways, even if Cypher did fall early in that fight. But it's only 2 frag difference now with Latrommi getting the protection. Let's take a look at the scoreboard really quickly, because Latrommi and Cooler are tied up yet again at 8 apiece. And Cypher's currently leading his team with a frag lead over av3k. So Latrommi's starting to come into his own in the series, and I think this is probably one of the most perfect times for him to kind of peak in the tournament, is in such a crucial game for him.
Cooler just get one of the refrags, and he's even able to make it a 2-for-1 push from Cypher, but Mega still up there and waiting. Latrommi's going to go through. Cypher does take him out, but again the refrags come in. A 1 versus 1 between these two titans, and Cooler reigns supreme. It's 1 frag between them. Certainly the closest game so far after 2 one-sided first 2 maps.
Yeah, I think with Quad coming up momentarily, we get to again have another episode, another series of Learn Russian, but this time it's not going to be Cyberfight, it's going to be AMD.
Нельзя.
армор буду брать, потом на квад пойду. На гвоздях. Оба там. Один сверху.
Блять. Ты где? Идем. Есть
Мега,
есть
мега,
тотем.
мега,
Тотем,
давай,
тотем.
давай. Мега сейчас. Мега сейчас. Армор.
Мегу взяли.
Я на
В
арморе.
окошке, бля.
Я на арморе.
Again, I understood one of those words. Totem.
Yeah, totem. And they managed to bring it pretty close with this.
I have to check with you on this, by the way, because we heard Cyberfight saying shotgun, but Drobovic means shotgun in Russian, right? Wasn't it
I think so,
Drobovic?
yeah.
I even mentioned, I was like, it's kind of surprising they don't say Drobovic because that means shotgun.
I don't know if there's like an acronym. I think I'm lacking way too much Russian experience.
Yeah, my Russian's very rusty.
Rusty / non-existent.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Just like my skill.
Oh, both the AMD guys are so weak then. Cypher and av3k able to slowly pick them off. But it's still an incredibly tight game. It's hard to tell what's going to be happening in the second part of the map.
I think, again, like I think this tournament has really shown us how important power-up control is and how important power-ups really are, because we're tied up. It's basically coming down to the next protection and how teams set up for it. Obviously, control is a big factor, but I think Total Recall kind of really helped prove how important it can be to maintain control of a power-up and investing into it relatively early on. But as Rafa mentioned, like there's a certain limit of time you have to keep watch for.
Oh, to get a 2-for-1 just then. Latrommi's going to stay alive. He's going to have mega control down now. That's not going to spawn till after.
Look at Heavy though.
The protection.
Look at the timings. 5 seconds difference between Heavy and protection. The problem is they're fighting on a different side of the map, which should allow.
Nice
yeah.
Good suicide.
Well, Virtus.pro have gotten Heavy. Latrommi's going to drop in with the mega advantage. He's got the rockets and he's got the double shot onto Cypher. And again, Latrommi getting the protection. If you think about, you know, when we did see AMD the last few days, it was Cooler fed every power-up. Latrommi only got it whenever Cooler was dead. And now maybe the confidence is there for Latrommi because he's playing well, he's playing fantastic, he's hitting the shots that we were hoping for, and Latrommi is going off.
Yeah, please, Latrommi, keep running these power-ups. He is dominating with it at the moment, and he continues to get these 100 damage blasts with the totem. Rockets seem to be connecting all the way. Protection's now gone, eventually goes down, but maybe Cooler can finish the job. He's got Heavy, drops with the LG. Mega's going to spawn in a second. Their timing is immaculate, and he gets the frag again. They are 7 frags to the good right now. They were behind by 2 or 3 just a minute ago.
Oh, Cooler is going to fall. Latrommi, again, he's hitting so many shots. av3k has 8 HP left. He's going to die as well. Latrommi is picking up a major frag, getting these trades and pulling things back to even to maintain a lead. As I talk about him, he does eventually fall. Good job here, and with 5 seconds on Mega, it looks like Virtus.pro have positioned themselves in a place to get it. However, look at AMD. They're ready to pounce from the high ground.
They've got perfect timings on the item. It's unbelievable. You see the segment saying 5 seconds left, but they know the exact second is coming on, and you could see the flank manifesting itself, and all of a sudden, VP looking pretty concerned.
It was kind of surprising that VP sent both players down to the bottom at Mega, not maintaining any high ground control, because you can spam in towards Nail doorway to prevent them from walking through, because they both came in, they both got high ground control, they both took away the statue in the LG position from you, and then you pushed into him and died from the nails.
Oh my god, the switches from Latrommi. He is so quick on this. He's going to allow Cooler to have a bit of a 1v1 at the bottom, but he breaks away, knows the Mega's not up for absolutely ages. He's maximizing his damage incredibly. The power-up's going to be up in a second. He's going to go for it, but he's going to be maybe a second late. Goes to the rockets. Cypher has it, but he's going to continue pushing, I think. He even takes him down. Cypher can't survive. Cooler killing av3k. There's only 4 frags remaining, and pretty much the entirety of the quad left.
I can totally respect actually dropping away from quad, because quad is more viable to kill than a protection. And he's able to come in, get the frag. He's got a stack now that he can work with. He's got kills that he can work with. He's got ammo and guns, and he's going to push back in. av3k's going to fall. And AMD are 2 frags away from taking the lead in the series.
What has gone on in this? One more frag with the last second of quad. They found another target. They want to go for him right now. That's av3k on his own, and AMD taking map 3. on match point, 1 away from getting to the semis.
That's what we theorized right before the map, right? Talking about AMD are looking super good with LG, looking super good with Rockets, and this is a map that does not have rail. Even though Cypher and Avic weren't using rail a ton, but kind of making sure the weapons that they already know with LG and they hold that position makes him even stronger than Latrommi.
Yeah.
He didn't even. The funny thing is that he played well, but he still
great.
finished with less kills than Cooler, 27 to 23.
He's just the power-up guy. You know, he takes the power-up and that's it. He needs a quarter of the game time to have pretty much equal impact. Okay, that's then quad, so I think like maths evens out something. You see what I'm doing here? I don't know.
He didn't have.
What I'm saying is he's incredible with power-ups.
Okay, so I think what we did see though is that Latrommi is winning a lot of these crucial engagements. Like for instance, the quad that Cypher got at the end. Latrommi, yeah, he picked up heavy, but he quickly got in, showing the
He didn't care. He just went in with the LG.
yeah, but showing like the
Crazy.
need to have good movement in the game. Catches up to Cypher, gets the kill, crucial for him, as well as to do with protection earlier on. He's able to do some really good quad and protection runs. And he won a lot of these fights that gave him like that 1 kill advantage, or maybe a 2 kill advantage, or maybe just equalizing things to make sure they don't drop behind.
Yeah.
Always keeping them going forward and keeping them in the lead.
And you saw the amount of 7s that came out with the lightning gun onto Cypher.
lot of
It was a
7s.
lot. And Cypher's like, I'm probably around 100 or so health here. Why would you be pushing me? It doesn't make sense. I've got the quad damage, and it was just as he was making his way towards the mega health.
yeah.
And Latrommi, it's like a no respect play, but it totally caught Cypher off guard.
think
And it's
it's
almost the type of
confidence.
Cypher move that you'd expect to happen too.
That's kind of like the scary thing about Latrommi is, again, the high highs and the low lows. If he's having the confidence and he's playing really well, he can make plays that you're not expecting. Like, for instance,
Yeah.
Cypher wasn't even looking at him. He wasn't even paying attention. He's like, I'm going straight for the Mega because I know they're not going to bother to attack me.
Yeah.
But Latrommi's feeling it. Like, he's feeling like he's in the zone, and when he starts doing that, he's unpredictable. He's even harder to combat. He's even harder to fight. And when AMD is typically like a predictable team of slow play, that's going to catch you off guard.
Yeah. Well, AMD are going to be buzzing right now, but the job is not done. We're going to be moving over to Ruins of Sunouth, which is technically their map pick even. So they took down the pick from Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
Like already, if you can call our predictions, they're blown out of the water because AMD have taken 2 maps. Are you feeling a victory now from AMD?
I think it's going to come down to this map. I don't know why. I feel that Blood Run would go Virtus Pro's way. The only way that I could see potentially AMD taking the map is if Virtus Pro are like tilted. But Virtus Pro wouldn't be tilted because they would win this map to even bring it to Blood Run. So it's going to be really kind of awkward, I think, if we get to the map.
Yeah.
I think that map has the potential to be very one-sided for either team, even though we know Virtus Pro's really good on it.
It is a crazy map as well. It's something that you always have to force the pace in. The tight corridors, like a lot of different things could happen in a map like Blood Run.
And we're going to Ruins, which is going to be a very, very rail-heavy map. Oh, I don't know if you'd agree, but almost like just as rail-heavy as Blood Covenant.
Yeah, just about. I'd say Blood Covenant maybe a little bit more, but the rail is incredibly important.
I feel like
Ruins.
the rail it's rail heavy, maybe not as much as Blood Covenant, but the importance of the rail on Runes is far more than Blood Covenant.
Yeah.
Because at least with Blood Covenant you get a lot of these close engagements, but you have to hit the rails in the big eye room. Like if, for instance, if we saw a lot of teams holding lower T, which is the eyes in the center, quads back here, it's the area straight ahead of you, upper T and lower T.
It's near J spot.
It leads to J spot, yeah.
Okay.
We saw a lot of teams actually. I think it was Effortless and Yetum just chilling there with rails.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, we'll give you position on quad, but you better be feeling really good in your movement to dodge our rails. Because
Yeah,
we're going to kill you.
completely.
We're going to snipe you. If we both hit you, you're almost guaranteed dead.
But you can see some games won and lost in those positions as well, because if you start missing those rails, you're not able to punish someone going for the power up, for instance. I mean, those can be game destroying misses then. So a lot of the rails important to hit, and there's a lot of long range angles in general around the map that you're going to want to land. Visor as well is immensely important on the map to get those early angles. So again, I'm expecting that we will see Visor Galena between the two of them.
100%.
I believe we're loading into the game at the moment, guys, so we will move into map 4 in just a brief second. But you know what? I'm going to call it. I think AMD are going to go 3-1, the complete reverse of what I said.
Really?
Yeah, I have little basis to make that prediction on, but I just feel like they're playing great in the last 2 maps. Something changed from Blood Covenant, and the Magic's there. They're gonna take it in this map.
I think. Do you think they're still going to be as aggressive on Runes, even though it's more of a slower map?
Well, we'll find out in a second, because I really don't know, guys. It's map 4 here between Virtus.pro and AMD. I am on Cypher to start with. Cypher and av3k's backs against the wall as they need to win this map if they want to survive in this tournament. It's single elimination, no second chances anymore.
Already the double LG picked up. Virtus.pros are pushing him. Nail gun versus lightning gun. And it looks like the lightning gun will win out on this trade. Get a nice little 2-0 exchange. And they are going to potentially get heavy. Cypher though dropping. The thing is, I'm worried for both the teams is neither of them. Wow, Cooler. Maybe I shouldn't say what I was about to say. I was going to mention, like, I feel like neither team is really invested into the rail on Blood Covenant. Obviously, they couldn't play on Corrupted Keith. It's been kind of a gun that they stayed away from. So I'm worried about how accurate they're going to be with it coming into this map and having to switch the rail, where you're going to have to be able to use the gun. But Cooler then shuts me down by getting too close proximity rails.
There's someone on LG spot. Cooler's going to be a little bit careful there. Lightning gun incredibly important on this map. Powerful weapon in the game. Good for a lot of the engagements. And look
Cooler.
at this. What is Cooler doing?
4-0.
5-1 now, even.
Well, I mean, like, he got 4 trades
straight.
now pretty much by himself. Latrommi is obviously giving damage, but he needs to restack up. We're getting towards quad in 40 seconds time. Mega and Heavy will both spawn in before then.
Nice little J spot totem as well. Oh, the combo there. That's a tough angle to be hitting. He's going to know that opponent's weak.
This is the interesting thing for me is, you know, comparing av3k and Latrommi's style on Galena. Latrommi, to me, was more of a selfish player with Galena from what we saw in the online tournaments. He would use the totems and engagements to heal himself up to win those fights, whereas av3k plays more supporty. He'll put totems around the map and allow Cypher to kind of run back and heal with them. So I'm curious to see if Latrommi will play more selflessly or selfishly in this map.
We're seeing a bit of both from him right now. I don't know if that's a change-up in his style, but at the moment, it's definitely AMD with position on this. We've got Gauntlet out. There's still a second to go. They're going to attack each other with the pummel. Latrommi wins out in that fight. They're a frag ahead. He's only got a single point of health left. Cooler tries to chase and refrag, but it's not going to happen. Latrommi only getting the glory kill for a moment.
Did he only have a gauntlet? Or is he just feeling like he was in that close of proximity he had to use it because machine gun wouldn't have worked?
I'm not actually sure. It's possible that he could have used all his machine gun ammunition, but
either way, Cypher only does get about 2 kills off the quad, and Latrommi was able to actually steal it away with in a fantastic fashion. 10-8, currently in favor of AMD, and Virtus.pro have stabilized. Not necessarily a slow-paced game so far, to be honest. It's still pretty damn fast.
No, it's been really fast. It looks like AMD have decided, you know what, we don't want to change the pace up. We've been doing very well in the second and third map with this fast style. Let's keep it going. Let's show them what we can do.
Well, Cypher's definitely decked out in weapons. And av3k's pushing forward to make sure to keep them away from Heavy. So again, working together, feeding a lot of the stuff over to Cypher. That's typical VP fashion. Get him stacked up, get him moving, get him powered, because we know how explosive Cypher can be.
Trying to chase to get some extra damage, but still got to be careful moving around the corners. It's going to be Latrommi on the side, landing one rail. And they're going to fade away from each other, not willing to commit there. Again, set up for Heavy. This time av3k not right next to it, but I think he's just dropped down to rail. Cypher's going to have to be a little careful. The Heavy's drop, but his rockets are good. av3k will drop to Cooler. And I'm going to stick on Cypher as we move towards protection.
Omega, though, that timing. Protection's up in 8 seconds. Cooler was able to get it, but Cooler no longer has it. It gets melted. av3k trying to pincer in on Latrommi. They should almost guarantee the protection for Cypher. Cooler's going to get the nice respawn back in, but Latrommi's now down. And Cooler takes it. He only has a machine gun, though. Can he escape from this? He needs the backup. He takes a double rail, but Cooler gets a kill into av3k, and he gets away. That should not have been able to happen.
Cypher was a little bit scared to engage there because he only had a small handful of health left. He didn't have much in the way of weaponry anymore. He couldn't get any last damage. I almost think it would have been worth him trying to invest his life into getting that kill. There wasn't enough health left for Cooler to feel safe himself.
I always feel like they just got almost unlucky at the same time. They didn't adapt quick enough. Like, Cooler respawned in the same room that he just died in.
I saw him run from rail a little bit.
Did he run from rail? Okay, so he respawned
yeah.
close enough to be able to get there in time and still have protection. They should have maybe forced them back a little bit more, especially with av3k pushed up forward to get ahead of them. But there we go, Latrommi and Cooler. They've been able to come back. They now have a 5 frag. They keep in mind, if they win this map, they're through to the semifinals to play against Liquid. Cooler against Rafa, a battle for the ages. And Latrommi has down 5 5 totems around the map. Now 4.
You cursed it this there, but you know what? He got damage with that one as well, so it'll still count. Oh my god, av3k running into LG. His rockets are pretty decent though. Can't quite get the last bit of splash. Cypher comes around the corner, clears up. And we're going to need to see Virtus.pro digging deep because they themselves might even be surprised at the level that AMD's bringing now.
Speaking of a level, Cooler and Latrommi both at 10 frags each. And be playing on level of each other. And that was with Cooler getting protection. And Latrommi only getting 1 off of the quad. Cooler respawning back and doesn't have the weapons. Latrommi was able to pick up the Mega, so able to control that.
Let's go jump into some of the VP comms to see what they're doing leading to this quad.
What? One on T already.
One was rail. Might be coming from bottom. Taking rocket and I'm good. One nail gun. Fuck, they killed me.
They're on eye.
They going high, yep.
Yeah, he's on heavy. Elena.
We can't give more frags.
Yeah, we just need to fucking slow down a lot.
One LG.
Interesting at the end. They're making that conscious decision now. They want to slow the game down. They're realizing they're giving up too many frags right now. It's time to try and stop this kind of this train that AMD are driving into them.
That sounds painful.
Well,
driving a train into you.
Evidently been painful here.
And I also heard, I think, a little bit of frustration in Cypher's voice. I mean, as you said, they're very cognizant of them being very far behind and need to slowing the pace. But Cypher obviously not happy with how this match is going. They get a 1-for-1 trade there, but they're still down 9. They've been unable to control the pickups, the Mega and the heavies. Latrommi's been able to steal away quite a few seconds to potentially give this one up. Gets knocked into the air, and that Mega is quickly gone. But again, he does prevent Virtus.pro from picking it up.
av3k, I think Cypher need to move back towards the heavy now, but it's hard for av3k to push in as he might get cornered. Rockets are pretty decent, but eventually it's going to be an AMD 2-for-0. It's 9 frags in the lead. Well, our analysis at the beginning was, I'd say, very Virtus.pro heavy, but it's been pretty much anything but that since map 1.
I mean, our analysis, come on, dude, it wasn't wrong. Off of the past games that they did have,
yeah,
Virtus.pro was 100% looking stronger.
For sure.
They stomped Sleep to Awake in the first map of their series, and AMD kind of scathed by in second place with their group. They're definitely looking like they got destroyed AMD by Liquid.
Yeah.
Their winners bracket match in the group.
You know what? This is what I absolutely love about LAN and the first 2v2 LAN championship. We get to see so many surprises and so many cool stories starting to get built. AMD trying to create a story here. If they can push through in the next few minutes, maybe they could see themselves go versus Team Liquid.
Cooler's not low at all. Might not have even needed to actually stop for heavy there. You probably could have continued to push through and let Latrommi secure that one. And again, maybe slowing things up. Still up 7 kills. Don't want to potentially throw away any sort of lead, and they don't need to. Now they're going to be locked into a corner. And Cooler, again, not going to take the fight. He's going to back away towards Mega, just choosing to play for the items, then choose for the frags, or play for the frags. But he's going to lose out on it. Cypher's been able to flank in, and Cypher's looking for the kill. 3 health left on Cooler. He should be finished off here, but not before doing another 80 bit of damage, and another 80. That was 100, actually. And Cooler on 3 health had no right of picking up that kill and doing this much damage.
He is doing tons of damage. With 3 health, you should be able to pretty much get equal damage to your HP. Phenomenal job from Cooler, but that frag differential is kind of creeping a little bit closer. Virtus.pro aren't out of this yet. They're trying to make the plays necessary to get back into the game.
I mean, you give Cypher 1 quad and that 7 frags of difference, or 8 frags of difference that we see, it's nothing.
Oh, the rockets right at the end. Nice work on that. And he's going to try and health up a little bit. Try and get around of it. av3k, I think, is in a 1-on-1 over there. Cypher also being fought from above. He's almost getting sandwiched.
He needs to either die now, or he needs to get this kill. He can't let this fight continue to go because they're both going to be low HP now. Okay, so he will fall. Latrommi should be low. av3k to still win, make at the same time. Quad up in 14 seconds. It's going to be a massive quad potentially for Virtus.pro if they can't get it. Going to get rockets. Actually, Latrommi's going to suicide, so that was intentional, trying to respawn back in. He gets an LG spawn, and Cooler's coming up from heavy. Avic's pushing forward, which should allow Cypher to pick up quad because they're not in a position to secure it. Someone drop on it.
Oh my
Avic
God.
tries to get in there, but Cypher's not in the right place. AMD, it's a double kill, and they get the quad at the same time. And Latrommi, he's looking to barrel down. He's looking to drive this trade further into Virtus Pro.
He's low HP, but you know what can happen on a Latrommi quad run. It's not going to happen now, though. They managed to just dive on him at the last second as his totem was coming up. Very, very clutch play. I was scared for VP then. I think Avic pushing out to the nail gun was a little bit over-aggressive.
Really?
Yeah,
I liked it because he could do some early entrance damage to them and then back away.
I think it was good before he went into the actual nail gun room himself, but when he pushed even further, nice.
Special delivery.
It's 6 a difference. Avic doesn't get too many frags from it, but you know he mitigates a lot of damage that could have come their way. And tries to close the gap just a
I mean,
teeny
I
bit.
think the double kill he got was a big confidence booster for the team. Like when they had positioning on quad, when they had quad spawn in and Cypher just didn't pick it up at the right time, they had to have been kind of frustrated. But with him getting the double kill, it's like, all right, we can do this. You know, we stopped them. We got a couple of frags in our favor. They're only down by 8, so it is very viable to come back from this, but they need to start playing perfect because if they lose this map, they're out. There you go.
Brilliant initial rocket. Going with the nail gun now.
There you go.
There's the 2 for nothing. That'll help a lot. Avic putting the resources down. Cypher can get himself totem healing plus heavy armor.
Needs to regroup up again. Yeah, there they go. Now I'm going to be pushing in. 30 seconds on protection. They're trying to contest Mega to deny this. They need to focus the same target. Cooler's low. Cooler will fall from Cypher as he dies. Latrommi pushes in, and he gets the kill. And he'll get a prize as well of the Mega.
Well, they're taking one of the major items. I'm very curious to see who's going to get the heavy. Cooler gets the kill on Avic. Cypher isn't seen up until he drops the bounce pad. And now they're trying to attack once more. That is another major item going the way of AMD. If you keep that control going, it's going to start making little
Protection's up in 2 seconds, and they're skirmishing over towards heavy. Avic's a kill on a Cooler. Latrommi has no HP to contest this. Cypher should be able to pick it up, but can Cypher accomplish much off of this? He's got the rocket. He's got no LG to use. He's going to have Mega on top. I think it's like with him having protection, the 44 frags AMD does have won't really change as long as Avic doesn't get caught out. He gets the first. Virtus Pro, I very well could see them coming back from this.
It is possible. I think it was some good plays from AMD, but maybe they got caught up in just focusing on the items rather than setting up for that power-up. Let's see if they can keep things slowed down. They're both hiding over by Tri-Bolt area. And I think by process of elimination,
Cypher's so aggressive though. I think Avic did not drop back to Mega, which had just spawned in, so good job by them to communicate, to stick together. Avic gonna fall eventually to get the Mega pickup. Heavy's now there. They lost on it last time because of the aggressive push of AMD, but they're gonna be here this, and they're gonna be only a 5 frag difference between the two. Very likely that we're gonna see this quad come in. Avic gets another kill, and Zoo, it's only 4.
It's close. It's definitely going to come down to the last quad. It could be incredibly close, and I think AMD are going to have to challenge for it.
I think AMD need to do some like chip damage here because they've lost control of Mega. They're going to lose control of Heavy.
Is there a universe where they don't challenge at all and they just try to play slow?
If they're going to play for quad, I guess. I mean, if you're talking about VP or AMD.
For AMD to challenge for quad, do you think they could just not do it at all?
I think they should challenge for quad. Look at the time we have.
Yeah, and it's now 3, so...
Play lower T. Remember talking about earlier on? Play lower T, just go for snipes. You know you can eliminate them even if they do get quad from range, but the problem is Virtus Pro feels so confident. Oh, if he hit that shot. They're only down by 3. He's being extra aggressive. Mega's going to spawn in before quad. So is Heavy. Now that's the question back at you is, do you go for Heavy in the situation for Virtus Pro with a 10-second window, or do you let that slip?
Well, they look like they want to go for it. I don't, honestly, don't know. They're looking over at it, but I think they realized it, and I think that's good that Cypher didn't drop down there.
Yeah.
He knows where they are. That might be an issue that he used the piercing sight, because he could need that in the last minute. And we can see now AMD deciding to push through, but they're giving away 1 frag. Now Cooler deciding maybe I don't want to push in any further. A little bit of extra damage from the bottom.
Mega's up 2. He's going to wait for it, and he's going to go on a rampage. 2 frags. They have a window of time to use. 14 minutes and 20 seconds. 40-second window. Will AMD run away, or will they try to go for the kill?
I'm really curious if there's piercing sight used by Cooler. He's using it right now, which is going to help them escape. So now we can see Cypher, who didn't have it during the whole period.
He waited for Heavy. He waited for Heavy.
But why would you go for that?
They have 30 seconds. You had quad.
Go, go, go. You've not got much time left at all. He's got the piercing sight up, so he's found one of the players. So this surely should be a kill. Avic will help him lock that one down. He's been hit by Tota, but he's spotted another target.
15 seconds, 1 kill they need just to throw it into sudden death. Heavy's up, Mega's up. Mega's going to be picked up. I think that was for Avic. Yeah, it will. They have 7 seconds. They have to get a kill now. They hear a totem. goes off. Are they going to chase anyone? It's going to be one Omega. It's going to be Latrommi. He gets the kill, and that has guaranteed them the victory with him taking out Cypher. And Virtus.pro are going to fall in the quarters, and AMD are going to meet up against Liquid in the semifinals.
Unbelievable plays from AMD. Virtus.pro gave it every